One that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Suicide. If you ever try to let go. Yeah, I'm sad and low. Yeah, I'm sad, I know. Yeah, who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Suicide. If you ever try to let go. Yeah, I'm sad and low. Yeah, I'm sad, I know. Yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's Monday, and on Mondays we talk The Last of Us. Get on up in here. Hopefully, everybody has had time and a half to see this episode because it's some stuff to talk about, in my opinion. Because I got some things I want to say. Before we get into that, be sure that you are hitting the like button on my channel, the Guest Backstage channel. Support us in this live. Comment below and let us know your thoughts on our commentary, as well as, what you thought about this show or what you think is going to happen next episode. We would absolutely love to know. Bringing out the sweet perspective first because she stay having something to say. Ashley, are you ready to get into the show? If he goes.
Yeah, I'm ready. But if I can be honest, coming off of last episode, my expectations were here. Okay, they were here, and after watching their light went here, Ira. It was fine, and we'll get into it. Yes, I'm ready. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm ready to dive into all things The Last of Us and Ellie's great adventure. I'm ready.
That's a great adventure. Last but not least, because it's not just us. We have a guest backstage, and hopefully she is joining us to the wheels fall off. The Last of Us, which is pretty short because it's a shorter season, but I ain't gonna talk about that right now. Quana with her real reviews is in the bag. Quana, are you ready to get into the show?
I mean, I'm feeling much like Ashley is. I'm here. First season got me invested, so I'm here. But my expectations have steadily been going down. So we'll see if they can right the train.
I was out because I be feeling like it's just me. It don't be nobody else. I be being extra tripping. And then y'all come back and, reassure me that, it wasn't just me. Because getting into overall thoughts, I miss Joe. I miss Joe real bad. Not just for the sake of missing Joel and what he represented in the show, but there just seems to, and it's like, y'all give it time. This just the following episode. This is the aftermath. Like, let it cook. I know. I have looked at enough to know that in the game, progression is needed, when Joel dies. He needs to die for the story to move along with Ellie. But Ellie had to grow on me to begin with. For him to just, go ghost on me like that. And low key, she's still growing on me, So to just have this shift here and kind of just even the pacing of this episode to where it just kind of feels like, all right, now it's all on Ellie. Like all of it, all the time. All the time, it just seems really heavy. And I don't know if Ellie, the character or the actress, can carry that just yet. Ashley, overall thoughts on this episode?
Okay, so because y'all, the way that I loved season 1 of this show, the way that I was enamored of all things The Last of Us and was sat each and every episode, and it got better and better and better and better. And now I just feel like I'm asking myself, did they plateau? Is what I'm asking myself. I thought that this episode had the potential to be super beautiful, right? And even when I watched the after show, they're talking about, we spent all this time and, the game didn't allow Ellie to really grieve, and we allowed all this space and time for her to really grieve. And I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Like, she walked through the house. It's fine. She got his blicky. She stopped at the gravesite, and then she's on her way to Seattle. Like, I didn't have time to really mourn Joel my damn self. I needed a meeting of the minds. I needed Ellie and Tommy to have a whole cry out session. I needed more than just a damn scream from her coma, Tyra. I needed to feel the emotion of losing Joel, not damn this evil Kevin McAllister's mama, questioning her. I didn't need that. Y'all, I think I was looking to sit with that because The Last of Us told such a beautiful story. When we think of who was it, Bill or Bob and his man in season 1, it was such an emotive story, and we got to feel all the feels. They didn't give me that opportunity in this episode, and for that, I'm saddened by it. I know we're going somewhere. I have faith it'll get better, but this episode just didn't hit for me, Tyra, the way it could have.
Well, with that episode, being said, like you said, like we love that episode. I don't think any of that is in the game, so they do have things to offer. They may surprise us. I'm hoping. As the comment below, Darfelina said, I'm waiting for Jeffrey Wright to pop out and say the whole thing. Kwana, what about you? What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
It was a very slow-paced and mediocre episode, in my opinion, just in terms of moving the plot along. Yeah. I know I wasn't with you lovely ladies last week, but I really disliked the fact that they decided to do what they did in episode 2. I don't think that they either gave us enough time to reunite with the cast to actually feel the full weight of what happened last week. I think if they were going to decide to do that and not have it be an end of season decision, I would have made it kind of a mid-season moment so that we could really feel the weight of their separation and everything like that and the grief of it. And then I think one of the issues, I saw someone else say this because I'm aware of the game. I've watched gameplays, but I've never played it, is that because you're playing as a character, you feel the weight of everything more in the game because you feel like it's happening to you by the time it happens. In the show, that doesn't translate. So I really wish that they had kind of learned. This is the one thing I feel like that The Walking Dead got right in terms of a zombie show is when people died, you got a nice montage. You got a nice montage moment. Somebody was having flashbacks of all the sweet moments with them. And all we had was that moment of Ellie jumping up, screaming while she was, coming out of her coma. We didn't really get to feel the weight of Joel's passing. And I really wanted to feel like that's Pedro Pascal. Put some respect on my other baby daddy name, So I didn't like that. And then if nothing else, I felt like Tommy should have come in a little bit. Like we should have seen some moments with them a little bit more. Because if he's going to be standing daddy, we need to see something. Something to move a shake with that. So it just was. I'm excited for, someone mentioned the person that they teased showing up in the next episode. I'm excited for that person because that person is amazing in anything. So I'm hoping he can right this ship. But I was not. I was like, oh, this is tight. I'm like, I could take me a little nap. I could take me a little nap and wake up and nothing will have happened.
I felt like they were trying to like, okay, we're gonna slow the pacing all the way down since so much happened in the last episode and we were on go. But give Sarah my love. Like, all right, Tommy, don't play. Look, okay. We were emotional enough. It was hard. We have him coming in here to, have his little grievances with him, and we focus on this watch. And we know why we focus on this watch, because this is that last little moment that he had with Sarah before it all blew up in flames. And also when he was trying to get them away to safety, that watch got shot, and it's just he's been wearing it and it's been broken ever since. And it was a short goodbye. With Tommy's character and what I see that they made different from the game, it was never Dina there with him. Tommy was there with him when they were held captive and all of that, and the happening and he was taken out. Dina was nowhere in sight. So I'm interested to know like where they're taking his character on the show, because they made it a point not to have him there when he, bit the dust in the end. But Quana, give Sarah my love.
Yeah, I mean, that was a sweet little moment, a sweet little nod. And I almost wish we could have lingered in that a little bit more, because that was where the real emotion of the episode came from, was in that moment. I had to go back and rewatch episode 1 just because my niece had never seen it. And I was like, oh, dang, that kind of got me a little choked up. That we don't rewatch episode 1, but we haven't seen Sarah in so long. I did like the nice little nod at the end that he passed on to Ellie, but yeah, this was the moment, I think. And I really wish that somehow Ellie would have been I mean, they needed to have this goodbye by itself, but I kind of wish they had found a way to connect Ellie to it a little bit.
Yeah. Ashley, give Sarah my love.
No, again, like even the lighting, they're trying to go overboard. They're trying to give us, sunset of Joel's life, and this is the end, and I'm saying goodbye to my brother. And so part of me is like, is it now because Tommy has had and suffered through so much loss that this doesn't hit the same? When we talked about predictions last episode, I was like, oh no, Tommy's gonna be the main one. He's gonna want to get revenge, get it back in blood.
What I said.
He's going to offer to go with Ellie and be an Avenger and all that. And it was nothing of the sort. It was so tame. It was so calm. And even in this, I wanted it to be more emotive. And that doesn't necessarily mean tears for me, but I really wanted to feel this. And I don't know. I don't know if it was because of the brevity of the scene, because it was like so short. I don't know what was causing the disconnect for me, but this didn't feel like the brotherhood I saw between Tommy and Joel in season 1. I really truly wanted to get that. This didn't even feel like Tommy last episode when he's like, check that damn radio every 10 seconds. Like, see about my brother. It was just, I don't know. It was an odd calm. And I agree with Quana's point that I would have liked to see a family moment. Like, he's having this experience where he's kind of cleaning the body and doing all that alone. I would have loved to have some way incorporate Ellie, because now she is his family for better or worse. I would have wanted to see that. I really feel like the audience needed this. We need to grieve Joel. It happened so fast, and now we're off again, and we still haven't gotten to sit with this emotion. Like, give it to us. And don't act like you did, because you know what it reminded me? It gave me a flashback to that damn Esther lady in that after show, talking about we cooked and we ate and we gave y'all, a time to really send Joel off.
Don't make her a witch's girl. No, I think that they are holding off on something because whatever between Joel and Ellie is very incomplete. So they're saving something because we're going to be getting flashbacks of Joel. So I don't think they wanted it to be final with Ellie like that. But as far as Tommy, it's very, I knew they weren't taking him where this character was supposed to go the moment that Dina was there during the death, and instead of him. And he did exactly what I said he was going to do in this episode. Like, and we'll get into questioning whether he was going to ride out or not. But I didn't expect him to saddle up and, oh, yeah, we finna get it back in blood. He's been very, town oriented since, Pedro and then rolled up on him last season. Like, I found something here. I have a family. I'm a different man. So I didn't expect him to ride out. I just didn't. But this was sweet. It was sepia toned. real dark. But getting over here, getting into the trauma and the repair all over the town. I said that was quick. It was real quick because we make a real cute 3-month jump. I said, okay, we gonna we're just gonna move it along. So you don't need all that. We're gonna move it along and really get to where we are. And all of the debris and rubbish that we got, all the battleground, it's washed away immediately, and we are rebuilding this town and trying to replenish what we lost. But we do get a whole lot of Ellie here. We get some screams from her. But we get some screams, and we get that she's, very tortured at this moment. And, why wouldn't she be? We know that even though it was sped along to 3 months, if this is the state that she was in, or even the rest of the town folks who survived were in, it was a battle uphill ahead. And it's just been a really hard road. Did we get to see it? No, we did not, because we sped along for 3 months. I think it really, I need some time with Ellie, okay? It took so long for me to just really connect to Ellie. And I connected to Ellie via Joel. So now that that's gone, it's like I need to learn her all over again, especially since this isn't, little 14, whatever. This is 20, we're an older Ellie, and what we've gotten so far, even in this episode, has been very childlike. And it's not like I'm expecting her to be, but for what we need her to be moving forward to carry the episodes in the show and get it back in blood and all this revenge, I don't want to see a 12-year-old. I don't want to see that. I want to really see her stepping into something. And there just always seems to be kind of a level of immaturity, just a lack of growth for where we need her to be to push this story along, for them to keep jumping in time. But Ashley, I'm going to come to you. How did you feel watching them, repair Jackson and Ellie in this trauma that we didn't get to see?
Okay, like I said, we didn't get to see that. All right, it's done.
It was implied.
Right? The quickest renovation, rehabilitation, reconstruction we've ever seen. But no, Bella Ramsey is a capable actress. I saw her over there at Game of Thrones, and for me, she gave more ferocity over there as a 12-year-old kind of queen running her house than she did this episode. And I think if we're going to be going after this bootleg Abby character and this group of wolves or whoever they are, we need to get some of that ferocity. I will say what I like that they did with the character this episode was that we kind of got her true response, right? When she's in this sedated capacity and she wakes up and she's seeing the events replay. That's something she couldn't hide. And then starkly up against that, as soon as she's cognizant and checking out, we see her put on that mask again. Oh yeah, I can be and say whatever I need to get the mission accomplished. I fear though, we didn't get to see Ellie's true nature at all. It felt like she went from one extreme to the other. We got the rawness, right, of this wake up moment, but everything after that is super artificial. Even in her interactions with Dina, which I thought we might get some vulnerability there, it was just so lacking. To me, this felt just like, okay, this is ABCD. We have to go ABCD. I didn't feel it. The revenge, the bloodthirst, I needed to see that seep out in some way. I didn't need the coddled responses. I know she did what she felt like she needed to do with the council with Gail, but for whatever reason, she's getting lost in the sauce. And we, like you said, we need to see Ellie. It's more important now than ever because Joel's not here. So I'm hoping that something shifts in the next episode, because I know the actress, I know she's capable of it. I need more. I'm gonna need more from it, Tyra.
I need her to do a dramatic blunt cut or something. I need something to wake me up with her. Quana, were you getting into the trauma in the 3-month jump in the town repair?
No, the wake up and the scream and the momentary flashback to last week, that was a start. That was an attempt, and they just didn't follow through with it. And that kind of ticked me off a little bit. At this point, Ellie needs a good PR team, because they are struggling. I know what it is, because I listened to people online, and they had so many people who didn't like Bella Ramsey's casting, because a lot of the, dupe roads, they were mad that she wasn't cute and hot. They couldn't fan fictionize this actress. Mm-hmm. So, okay, fine. The reaction to that is make her have the response a 20-year-old would have, who's had everything taken from them. she should be angry. And if we had gotten that moment with her and Tommy where she could have maybe unleashed a little bit with Tommy, we could have seen it then. And then maybe Tommy be the one to rein, she's ready to go, she's ready to kill everybody, da 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 da. Tommy's like, okay, I know this, but you got to do this, da 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 da. And we got it fully unpacked then, and then the rein in, and we got a longer scene. It would have felt more authentic. This just feels kind of robotic and stiff.
Yeah. And
then none of the other acting is really. I loved Bella Ramsey in Game of Thrones. Little Bear was about it. Little Bear was about that life. Wasn't nobody else gonna ride for King of the North. Little Bear was gonna ride for the King of the North. So I'm like, I want that energy. I want that. Oh, I'm about to ride for Joel. But y'all want to take my dude out? Oh no. I really want that energy to come out so bad.
I don't know nothing about that Little Bear, but shout out to Little Bears.
but the time skips are, they're taking me out, Ty. They're taking me out because we had a 5-year time jump. Now between 2 episodes, now then went 3 more months. I can't. I need them to pump the brakes. I get it. This actor did not want to be a kid because they're grown in real life, but the time jumps are taking me out. It's too much. We're not seeing enough internal struggle, turmoil, character. It needs to be a character driven show, and now it's just plot points.
And unfortunately, I still think we're going to get, because there's no way this is all we're getting. I think whatever's there, she's suppressing it because she's so focused on revenge. But I'm like, if we're not here with Tommy or somebody we're supposed to have some kindredness to, when we get these moments, are we going to be with you and Dina? I don't want to be with you and Dina. I'm just saying, I don't want to be with y'all, sharing something that deep. It's just, I need you to be, we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. And the reason I think that we're probably suppressing it, because we're getting into lies and regret. And I'm sick of the lies. Now, Gail here, I don't know what she wants just yet, but whenever we get to it, I'll be glad. But at this moment, she's just here as your residential, therapist. And we've been checking Ellie out this entire time, these 3 months, and she's like, "Can I just get out of here? I'm gonna tell you exactly what you want to hear." And that's a pattern with Ellie this episode. She's telling people what they want to hear to get what she feels like she needs. But regardless of her admitting, oh, well, aren't you a little bothered? Isn't that little fiasco that y'all had at the dance? Isn't that the last conversation you shared? Doesn't that feel like, oh, no, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean, everything me and Joel been through, it's fine. Yeah. And she's digging the way that I want to dig. I want to know what the disconnect was. I don't know if we're still saving that for a rainy day, but I'm sure a lot of us feel like at some point Joel said, yeah, remember that one time when we was on that hill and I had said that the fireflies was, I had killed everybody in the timber. Yeah, I did that. I did that to, rescue you because I wanted to save you. I rescued you. And she's here like, he said he rescued you, but yeah, he's rescued me. He's helped me. He saved me a whole lot of times. Like, I don't know what that means. It's just that anger that we got into that first episode, and while the disconnect was even there for her to be living all off in the little garage, whatever, the little back house, and not speaking to Joel and being perplexed. And we have yet to hear her say whether it's this therapist or whether it's Jesse or Dina, anybody trying to inquire. So you and Joel, it's just like, yeah, leave me alone up until it was too late. But we have to get into why you were so mad, girl. I feel like he maybe, told her, and she just can't share that with anybody right now. Because what else are we lying about? Ashley?
Girl, evil Kevin McAllister's mama can go straight to the hot place. Something is wrong with this lady. She has nefarious intent. If I was Ellie, I wouldn't have told that heifer nothing either, except for this. She doesn't need to know, girl. Why are you so pressed? And why do you need to know? And I don't buy you're just the town therapist. There is something so underhanded. I can see it under that dark eyeliner. Something is wrong with evil Kevin McAllister's mother. I do not trust Gail. I never will. And so in this moment, I was here for the deception, for the cloak and dagger. Don't tell that heifer nothing but what she thinks she needs to hear in this moment so that you can get discharged and go on about your father's business, literally. So yeah, no, I wasn't mad at Ellie in this moment. I was like, girl, do what you got to do to get on out of here. Because Something's
Since you said it, Ashley, because I did have a little slide that was like, do we need her? And I was gonna get into what I think she's doing. So I don't know, between her and her husband and this vendetta and how we keep fixating on that, and it's just like it's not important in the grander scheme of things, especially since Joel is dead. What else could she possibly want? I feel like she's been sitting here to try to figure out who the hell Ellie is. Because nobody knows who Ellie is. And even when we did get those ex-Fireflies there to even capture her to go, hey, we got the brain. Let's try to see if we can do what my dad couldn't do and get on with this experiment. She has to have some kind of agenda, but we shall see.
And Tommy knows, so that's the only person that could possibly leak the information. But Gail's an old school fool. She has some insight, and her husband was a part of this clandestine organization all this time. So where'd she come from? You're not gonna make me believe that there's not a deeper underlying meaning or a deeper purpose or reason why she's here in Jackson.
It has to be. Not even just here in Jackson, but after, Joel being gone and that was your plex, technically, even though you are the town therapist, there's really no real reason for you to be here or be as present as you are unless you have a nefarious motive. I'm just saying. Quana, lies and regret. How much do you think Ellie knows? Like, is that the beef? Am I the drama? Did Joel tell her what he did and that's why she was mad, or is it something else?
I think Ellie doesn't know anything. I think this is just Ellie's mode. Her mode is to not share anything with anyone because that's always been her mode, And the only time we got a chance to see her kind of share a little bit was when she was sharing with little Stormy Reed, whatever her name was in the show. I can't even think of her name anymore. So I think that's why she didn't tell anything. Now, Gail, on the other hand, Gail is most definitely here to start some ish. She most definitely is here to cause some drama. She's plotting her own revenge. And I think at this point now, she's just trying to figure out, okay, I lost my opportunity to get whatever I could have maybe got on Joel. How can I use whatever a little bit I know against Ellie? And she's just trying to, I think, collect data to figure out what does Ellie know so that she has a reason to go after her. I just think you don't cast Catherine O'Hara in a role unless you want her to be just at least a little bit messy, at least a little bit messy. So I definitely think she is perhaps I think this picture you got up here is perfect because I think she is like almost like an older version of Ellie in the sense that she's going to be plotting and she's going to be waiting to see when she can execute her chance at revenge.
I just want to see because, girl, who sent you?
Let me just say, I kind of hope that that's what I hope that there's some purpose other than we wanted to slap Catherine O'Hara in our show just for extra views. I hope that there's a reason she's here.
Because she's not from the game either. This is a creation, from the show writers. So they have to some type of plot device to want to use her. And there has to be also that reason why I was like, Tommy, since when y'all talking and hanging out watching baseball? What y'all doing together? What you about to tell this woman? But I did appreciate Ellie sending on business because same thing with Joel. Even when they were in like girl therapy, whatever. Yeah, I'm only telling you so much. Yeah, we real closed off here. But we go back home. I was like, girl, that little empty bed frame really pissed me off because you should have had your butt in the house. Sleeping all in the outback, keeping your distance that hard. But as far as grief, this is as much as we get at this particular moment. Now we do have this box of things and we got the watch and old Joel and this, material, this shirt. Like, my weapon of choice is literally a weapon. I'm trying to get it back in blood. But before I do that, are those Joel's shirts? Like, we get a little brief moment here where she does shed a tear and try to have some vulnerability. She does, it's Ellie. We have a need to try to be hardened. And as soon as we hear Dina call our names, we, suck it back up. But this is all we get. It's this was just the nail in the coffin, not even just the loss of Joel or just community. Even with all that Jackson is, he was still her home, whether she felt away or not about whatever happened. So with him gone now, it just really feels like there's nothing really keeping me here, whether I'm going to get revenge or not. What is Jackson without Joel being here? Ashley?
Yeah, Joel was her daddy. That was her father, for better or for worse. And we know everybody growing up has, some kind of issue with their parent that they get on their nerves or vice versa. I just, like I said, I just hate that it just feels so unresolved in that. But, and I see what they were trying to do with this kind of, montage, I guess, of her going through the house that she hadn't lived in and going, and getting the blicky. Okay, this was my dad's gun. Like this was his clothes. Let me smell them. You know what I mean? Let me get the last vestiges of him. And in the after show, they talk about in this moment, this is supposed to represent her becoming him, right? Even how yeah, no,
You
seriously,
see?
that's what they said.
I
Too.
didn't. See, that's why I was finna cuss. That's why I don't mess
Listen,
around with them after shows because y'all stay lying.
that's what the people said. They said this is her taking on, the presence and spirit of Joel and how she's going to now move in the world. And so I'll be interested to see what it was. Again, I still wanted more. The snipping of the shirt and that it was so brief.
Yeah, I can say.
Sit in this. I didn't get to sit in this and grieve. If she just would have fell out in the middle of the floor and sobbed, that would have probably given me a little bit more. But alas, she's still trying to hold it together, even in these quiet, silent moments, which freaks me out. Because I don't know what they're doing with her character because it's not indicative of any of the Ellies that we've met up to this point. So, I mean, because even in episode 1, when she was being a heathen, she was still emoting, right? It was anger. It was, Joel, stop it. Like, it was angsty teen, right? It was giving that, but it was giving something. This flat affect is really throwing me off with her, even in the quiet moments. But we'll see if she takes on his essence, honey. Yes, Jasmine, his essence. That's the bed.
It's flat. It's dead. Quana, did you get that reference here that she was becoming Joel?
No, I wasn't getting that. I was like, okay, they're giving us, Carl or Judith Grimes every time somebody died. That I was not getting that she was taking on Joel's essence and responsibility at all. Okay, I'm gonna try to think this way. This is just all more reason why we shouldn't have had a 3-month time jump, because I think that a 3-month time jump and then the lack of emotion here makes sense, because 3 months later you've already had an opportunity to grieve. We needed to see her as soon as she got up in the hospital, like as soon as she was up and on the mend in the bed crying, in a little ball like this, like Joe, in the middle of the night, something. We needed something. We as the audience needed that, because then this kind of, okay, she smelled the clothes, but this kind of stoic, unfeeling process, this is what happens after you've already grieved. Mm-hmm. Or if you're in shock. I don't know. I mean, it was cute. It was cute that she got the little watch or whatever. But yeah, I just didn't feel like it felt stiff. It just felt like it didn't. There should have been something more, I think, that associated her to Joel. It would have made more sense to me. Let Tommy keep the watch, because that would have meant more.
I was going to ask you that, Quan. Does she even know the significance of the watch?
I don't even remember if Joel ever told her. I know he told her a little bit about, Sarah, but I don't know if she knows the whole backstory.
Yeah.
And so it would, to me, there's other things that would have maybe made more sense. At this point now, would kind of let him have found a letter that Joel wrote. He was open therapy. Mm-hmm. He probably wrote something down. They could have put the gun in a little note or whatever in case something happens to me, whatever. But yeah, this just wasn't doing it for me really at all.
No, I just look forward to whatever they have coming. This feels so final and dry. Like, get on out of here, Joel. It's time for us to move on to the next thing. Like, damn, take me out to dinner first. Now we get more into the WLF, the wolves of the world, and what would Joel do? WWJD. We get into what would Joel do, because we have her piped up. I just, for whatever reason, Ellie was giving me Abby this episode. It was like a repeat of Abby and how I felt she was moving last episode, which I don't feel good about continuing forward. Because even with this, of course, and I'll get into what later gave me like Abby strong, but just this right here where she's like, no, tell me everything. And I was just, I don't believe you, Ellie. Like, I don't, it, like, it's just, it's not, I'm not believing it. And I would love to, I would really love to. Of course, we have Dina giving her reasoning as to why I didn't share this with you immediately. I already know you needed time to heal and process. We are building up Dina to really be a formative character on the show that we're going to follow. And it's very much giving, you need me. We need each other. Like, you can't do this without me. Like, I have, a more sensible thing where you are just really going off of grief and revenge and you're going to mess up if I'm not there. Like, I was like, oh, we really finna get some Dina. We were really getting a lot of Dina. But outside of that, we have it, you know what, let's take it to Tommy and kind of do this the right way. And we have all of this back and forth there where the most we even get out of Tommy is like, don't act like you know, like, I'm his brother. Don't act like you know for sure what would have been done. Like, he wouldn't have wanted this. He wouldn't want somebody to go off. It would be totally different with Joe. He wouldn't do that. And don't act like you know him better because of who you are. We have our different versions, but he is my brother. Don't put words in my mouth. And that was just that. And I was like, oh. But we have her, hey, I'm going to go on down and, have a little council situation. We're going to do this the right way. And it's like, was Tommy ever going to Seattle? Of course, even last episode, I didn't think so. I don't know why they tried to kind of build it up here as like, Tommy was almost giving this episode, if we got the right amount of votes in those 16 people, I would have been on my way. And the fact that we didn't, I'm so shocked and surprised. I don't even know why Tommy would entertain this if he's not really going to initiate and participate in going. And not even that, in the grander scheme of things, this is a very dumb idea. I'm sorry. I love Joel too, but this is, a S mission. Like, it's Abby. That's what was giving me Abby about it. This is unfamiliar. You're going here. And she's like, oh, I've never seen this image. I've never heard of them. Oh, that must mean that they must be really small and minute. We can probably just go handle up and come on right back home. You don't know where you're going. You're walking into something blind, just like we had them wake up last episode like, oh, is that a whole city? Is that a whole town? I thought it was just a couple of tents and one little fence. That's the whole, like, how are we gonna, get into that? And here we have her just kind of walking in blind, and we know why. And her reasoning, there isn't any, because I just want my revenge and I want to find all these people that you named. But, just the assumption that we've never heard of them, it must be real, a whole bunch of nothing. Why? I just want some more strategic movement off of Ellie's part. I know that's asking a lot, but when y'all start speeding stuff along, I have expectations. Quantum?
First of all, I'm sure that this is from the game, but I'm like, does every zombie show got to have some group called the Wolves up in there or something? Why we got to do this for every show? Secondly, yeah, I really wanted to see more of like that turmoil in Tommy, but it never felt like he was really going to go anywhere. No. Well, what it made sense to me is if he was like, bet, like, these people killed my brother, and on top of it, they kicked Ellie while she was down, like kicked her in the stomach. I was like, oh, okay, but if he would have to ride for them, and then his little boy comes running up or whatever and reminds him, oh, I got responsibility, that would have made so much sense to me. They just didn't build anything for us to like go through the process with him and really make us believe that he really was ever on the fence. So I was like, oh, we don't even know if you were one of the three who voted, to be honest.
Well,
we don't even know.
It was like,
we don't even know. We don't even know. So there's that part of it. They don't know anything about this group. And then the fact that, okay, Dina tells them the names or whatever. We don't even know if she tells them. It's clear that this woman had a vendetta against Joel. They were just kind of talking about it like they were just random raiders, which means there's no indication that she even said, no, they obviously knew who Joel was. They were obviously targeting. Like, before they took her out, it was clear that they knew something about him. So this really is a mission that they would be going in blind if they don't even know that it was targeted. Because right now, everybody's just talking about, like, these are some randos who just rolled up on them and killed them for no reason. So it's just all messy. That's one of the plot things I hate in like movies, is when people don't tell all the information. Just tell all the information, please, so we don't die.
Sprinkling in stuff about Tommy, and that as I say, angels of power. That makes sense. That makes sense. And that's what I would expect. But the fact that we're shifting it so hard Dina's way and we're kind of having Tommy be set, I just want to know what they're going to do with his character, if they're going to do anything at all. Because Ashley, I know how you feel about Dina, the Wolves, and WWJD, Ashley.
So y'all know, like I said, I thought Tommy was gonna be about that action. We didn't seen Tommy on the battlefield for his lord before, and so I just knew all about his brother. Like it was going to go up, so it makes sense that the game would go in that direction. But yeah, this was Cap. This was Cap. He ain't leaving Terra. He ain't living Terra and his biracial baby. He's not going anywhere. He's staying in Jackson, honey. He is the de facto leader at this point. I already told y'all he was the MVP, okay? Last episode. He wasn't leaving that behind. I don't even know why we're playing at it. But back to WLF, the Wolf Pack, the 90210 Wolf Pack, we'll call them, Ellie and the last slide here. You know, it's hard to say what Joel would do because all about Ellie, he would have killed a brick. He would have went to war about Ellie, and there's nothing in my heart or mind that would make me think otherwise. And we also have to take into consideration that the Joel that Tommy grew up with and knew before all of this is not the same Joel post all of the events of this situation with Ellie. Joel came back utterly and completely changed. Okay, so we have to get that out, and Tommy has to throw that away, baby, because you think you know your brother, but I knew my daddy, right? At the end of the day. As far as Dina, the hoe can't be trusted. I told y'all what it was last episode, that Ellie was an experiment, that this was a toy, that she ain't want that girl, and we found out the truth in this episode. What pissed me off, but let's get here, because I know you probably got a slide for that, but let's get here at this table, and I'm not gonna read her too bad, not as bad as I want to, but there's no way in hell you gonna sit up in my face at my daddy's table and tell me I loved him too. Ho, he don't even know you. All right. He barely know. We done been through hell and high water. I done scavenged for this man, honey. I done filled up his wounds, honey. I done went to war and fought the white tees for my daddy, and he's done the same for me. We are not the same. You are not like us, sis. That pissed me off so bad because how dare you? But she came with a plan. She came with resources and supplies. I don't know how long Ellie thought she was going to make it without a medicine kit. Like, you don't have a first aid kit, sis?
Girl.
You have no
Girl.
food. You just got this blicky crop. Like,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, what? How are we supposed to get into her?
I'm trying to figure it out, because you were not wrong when you equated her to Abby, because it's like this naivete, this hubris, this whatever. But on Abby's part, it worked. I mean, she came
by happenstance.
But I'm just saying, by this logic of the show this season, damn it, it might just work. But Dina is a liability, because at what point is Ellie going to tell Dina about her secret? Because Dina, to me, is a liability. She can't be trusted. She thinks you're a plaything. She just wants to have fun with you and go on a great adventure. I think Dina seeks thrills. I don't think she cares about Ellie like that. And they're trying to shove her down our damn throats. And that's what's infuriating. Because don't make me feel like I'm a fool. I see Dina, and she's not it. I hope she dies very quickly in the
I don't even think it's that, like, and we really don't know, because from what we got last time, I was like, well, we're speeding ahead months and we're not embarking on some type of loving relationship or them progressing. It gave very much friendship right now. So I'm like, well, what exactly are we doing with her? I don't know. But she wanted her to know that this was a Michael Jackson situation. You are not alone. I am here with you. I loved him too.
Girl, go to hell.
That's why they laid it on thick. Oh, he's with Dina. He took the route with Dina. They spending time together. Like, we got it. Yeah, speaking of how we know who voted, we know how Jesse voted, because Jesse said, hell no. I am of the town. I am of the people. Jesse was in here looking good, if I may say so myself. The arms was arming. But yeah, out of all the people, because y'all know we don't know. We don't play the games, never seen it, don't know what's coming. Mm-hmm. But I was hoping Jesse will go. Like, and I'm never one to say, like, and I knew when we met him and how rule oriented he was, like, this is serious, that there was less of a chance for him to go. But I just want some manses there. I want some manses there, because even with Dina and Ellie put together, I still see little girls. I see broken promises. It's three little women.
Oh,
And I just, it's just, I don't care what they do. I don't care how much boxing we have here, how much she talks, how many episodes you want to open with her manhandling a giant in the barn and, hit me harder, hit me. Don't go easy on me, sock me in the face. Got it. Even on the side, I was doing crunches and push-ups because, I'm about that life 3 months. They can't keep a good player down. We see you, Ellie. We see it, but I don't see it enough for y'all to be out here in the trenches alone on this mission. I don't see it. So I at least was hoping, like, can Jesse go? But he was like, yeah, don't come in there with all you two. Write a good little letter, make it now so you can have a better chance. Ashley, did you want Jesse to go or be a little bit more active? Or did I just wanted him to go.
Jesse has been promoted and he is now an elite employee. All that Jesse is at this point. He ain't going nowhere. He's not leading the comfort of his town. They've been building this up. That's the one thing that they've done in these first 3 episodes is showing that Ellie moves with reckless abandon, right?
Yeah.
The episode, she's going to defy orders. She's going to overstep boundaries. She's going to go because she thinks she's Superwoman. So this doesn't surprise me, but Ellie, baby, you are not $1 Million Baby. I don't know what this spar is. Harder. I'm like, girl, it's not it. Like, you're going to be going against the bloaters, the damn what are they called? What are those the ones that creep up, the stealth mode ones?
Yeah.
Going up against the regular, and you're gonna be going up against trained assassins with semi-automatic weapons. Like, what are the two of you gonna do? What is this gonna be? Like, and then big old fine Jesse, he don't want to do nothing but, like I said, run the town. Like, it just seems hopeless unless we pick up some recruitment.
Yeah, we have to. That's where I left off this episode. I was like, okay, clearly we're going to pick up a ragtag team of bandits, and I'll get into who maybe that could be. But I was just hoping Jesse and his arms would tag along. Jesse said, I ain't going on this death mission with you, girl, with you. And I know and we know that that is giving reckless abandonment. But that's why I was like, have the people there with a little sense, with a little tact, like a Jesse. Yeah, maybe we should do this instead, huh? He's like, yeah, girl, please, you by yourself. Quana, did you want Jesse to go or get active? Just for purposes of us.
I mean, definitely Ellie cannot handle this on her own. I don't know what in her history is supposed to lead us to believe she can actually do this on her own. Even if it was just the crew that was with Abby at the cabin, let alone once they showed us what really was lying in wait. This is not Carol. She ain't about to blow up Terminus. Like, so that part of it was like, yes, Jesse needed to go. Now, I don't know if they're going to try to like set up some storyline where like they follow them because they're gone or something. But again, that's why we shouldn't have rushed episode 2, and we should have had like 2 good episodes of them in Jackson and us seeing people in town care about Ellie and care about Dina, and Dina and Ellie become something that we kind of care about a little bit more, and something happens that kind of causes some type of feelings between Ellie and Joel, but then she still doesn't want to let go all the way, and it's like right there on the precipice, other than just him going off and saying, don't be homophobic to my baby girl. Other than that moment, we could have just got at least 2 episodes. If Joel's death would have happened in episode 3,
yeah,
and the town still voted against not going, but we could see like, dang, Jesse feels kind of away. Dang, Tommy feels kind of away, and they're seeing her and they look sad, but then she disappears. They're like, oh, guess we better pony up and go find Ellie and Dina. But they have no reason to go look for them. We don't have any reason to believe that this man is going to go after her and leave his wife and his child, or that Jesse's going to be like, well, what I'm gonna go after her for? She done broke up with me 2, 3, 4 times. I guess I better find me a new little young tenderoni.
This is not a smart idea.
It's not smart. It's not smart.
We don't know what we're walking into, and you just about 16 people should be enough. How do you know that?
Arbitrary.
How do you know we're going? Like, you guys have been enclosed, and not even that, Dina, which we're gonna get into, but you barely left this little reserve. Y'all been a couple of kilometers away.
Ellie can't even take on the little new Falcon, let alone everybody else.
I don't know. They're gonna pick.
Let me just say, I hurt my feelings. I didn't tell y'all last week because I wasn't here. That hurt my feelings that they had the new Falcon kicking her in the stomach. I ain't like that.
Oh, that pissed me off. That pissed me
I
off.
ain't like that.
Manny,
hey,
I
I'm
learned his name.
list.
It's etched in my mind. Manny got to die tonight because who you ain't had that to go and do. You didn't have to go. That shows what kind of man you are, the kind of character you have.
Yes.
Kicked her while she already looked 13. You kicked her in the gut.
In the gut.
And wanted to take her out.
He wanted to take her out.
Away.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that because them and all of the morals and Abby and that moral standing, and we were trained to, if you don't have a weapon or you can't defend yourself, we get whose lore is that? Because it's not y'all's. But lies, votes, and disappointment because you're a liar. We had this note, same way she rolled up with this with this little session that she had with Gail earlier. Let me tell you what you want to hear. This is not about revenge. This is about, girl, Ellie ain't never gave a damn. I said, Ellie, these people don't know you. Like, it sounds real good. It sounds real hard on the phone, nephew. We know you lying, Ellie. You are lying. She tried to, and I liked it because I was like, Ellie's acting is a little off right here. But I'm like, okay, it's on purpose because you're lying. You're lying. It was just, really, really disingenuous. But if I gotta lie to get the results that I want, once again, moving with our own brain, not thinking of this community or these people, when people are standing up like, hey, keep hope alive, but we lost enough people. And we can't guarantee that those 16 people are going to come back. Only old Seth here, which I was like, if you want them to leave and get them homosexuals out of here. But he's the only one to really rally to say, I want to get it back in blood. And everybody else in the town is just like, we are in the trenches after everything that we've lost and suffered. We're still trying to rebuild. And yeah, that doesn't make any sense. We can't go behind you. And then we have them, take that vote up there. We have that brief moment of timing like, oh, okay, it was very trained today. I'm putting cases on all y'all. Oh, okay. Like y'all really didn't vote. Y'all really ain't trying to. Did you vote though, Tommy? That's what I want to know. What did your vote really say? Because the face gave, I voted to go. And yeah, but even if that wasn't, regardless of the vote, if you was really about it and you wanted to, I'm coming with you. I don't know if you voted like that, Tommy. I know how Jesse did though. Ashley?
Yeah. What's crazy is that this is all formality because at the end of the day, he knew what Ellie was going to do. Like, he knew Ellie was going either way. And if he was really about that life, it would have been up. And we just going together. Like, we go together real bad. I'm going to go with you. But again, he's just not on that type of time. And again, this is just not the Tommy that we've come to know. So it's just throwing me off a little bit. As far as her speech, Ellie got up there and did what she felt like she needed to do. I was like, who is this woman now? I said, we didn't seen Ellie with her top knot or her low bun in the back. She ain't going. She's like a school mom in this. I was like, what are we doing here? She was on her best behavior. She wrote out, this is about justice. This is not about revenge. And I would do this for any one of you here. Like, I know I'm not the only one who lost someone, but this was an attack against Jackson. It wasn't just about me. It was about us. And I was like, well, go on, Ellie. I knew they wasn't going to go for it. I was surprised though that Seth stepped in, but it doesn't surprise me because he's one of those old stand your ground guys. And he's like, listen, this is our town. They invaded. Go ahead. And I don't really give a damn if Dina and Ellie go because they're abominations. That's the vibe that it gave. He didn't really care. But like, go ahead and go because y'all, you're trying to stand for something. But that's what Seth goes. I wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him, but he did what needed to be done to send them off to their death because let's be honest, anyone who aided and abetted this dummy mission doesn't like them for real. Like, you don't like these girls and you don't think they're going to come back because listen.
Yeah, he don't care whether they come back or not. Like, if y'all get the job done, that's cool too. But if you don't come back, I ain't just gonna sweat off my back. What I did agree with is, we have to present and represent a certain way because let's not act like Jackson is just a little throwaway place. The way that Abby and them acted when they saw it, like, whoa, this is, something to be sought after. Like, they could roll up in a major way. And it's what we saw in the tank of it all, we are well equipped to take everything. Like, yeah, y'all have resources. Y'all have opportunity. They could roll back up. But yeah, this was a crash mission.
And I always had abominations, y'all, before y'all start with me, because in the after show, they say that he is a staunch bigot, but that his love for the city overrode his prejudice. That's the only reason I said that, y'all.
I don't know. I can't look at that actor. I just see thinner.
I'm I was gonna say he just been in a very bad mood since he couldn't get in with Benson. I'm wrong, SVU. Um, First of all, I've just, once again, another show that my good friend Tara, aka Rutina Wesley, they don't give her nothing to do. She just sitting there looking pretty.
Oh yeah.
She why we using Tara and wasting her good talents? I don't understand. They are, like you said, they already knew what it was. They knew wasn't no way in the world these people were going to go against her and vote on Ellie's side to send any resources with her on what they know is a suicide mission. That just was not going to happen. And like now that we've seen what we've seen, for real, like what is to stop Abby and them from rolling up and snatching whatever they want, because Jackson, is strong, but they don't got it like that. But I mean, I guess he's feeling, I don't know, I guess that punch from Joel is making him feel a little fatherly toward or grandfatherly toward Ellie. I don't know. I guess he's just for Jackson. He's an old soldier. He's like, nah, man, we got to tear everybody out. Okay, this moment was. I think I would have felt like this moment was important or significant if I really would have believed at any point in time that there was actually going to be a decision in Ellie's favor. And what maybe would have made this scene more worthwhile would have been not just Dina rolling up with some weapons and some resources and then Seth coming in and saying, I got you one better. But where's Tommy? Because Tommy know good and doggone well Ellie was about to roll on out. You ain't slip her no extra goodies to help her out. You just let your, honorary niece just go out in the wild and probably die and not have nothing to help her out. So even that, it's like, I would have even liked that kind of moment. Like if they felt like they couldn't go with her, but like more than one person was like trying to sneak her something, kind of pull the, was it when June was trying to do the runaway thing on Handmaids and people were sliding her little soaps and whatnot? Like they had pitched in, and helped out a little bit. But other than that, I felt like this just didn't move me, other than seeing her write that stiff behind, little letter.
They said all the support you're getting is to know that there were 3 votes. So that was Jess, Maria, and Tommy. We had your back from over here. Yeah. that was all. They said that's all you're getting. Like
that's all you're getting.
You would think that Tommy knows what's going on. Like I already know what you're gonna do. Here's a little care package. Something to tide you over. Something. I know I can't talk you out of it. Something. Back to Gail. We already discussed this heifer here. I think she got something up her sleeve. I don't see them having anything to talk about. And it's just so like in the way she was very poignant of saying she's a liar. She's a liar. She lies. I was like, what kind of therapist is this? It's like, yeah, I saw you down there at the town meeting. Yeah, I heard. She stood up. Yeah, did you mean it? I knew she didn't mean it. She's a liar. She lies, just like Joel. This kind of energy that she was giving. So I'll be happy whenever her husband and whatever her vendetta is revealed. I'm really hoping that she is working for the ops and she's been sent here. It's like, aha, we knew it was you. I've been trying to see, like, I just needed you to say it. Take her in. I don't know, something. But she better not just be here just to be here. I hope not. but leaving this old down at the baseball game, living their best life. So y'all better protect the front. Now we have a moment of Ellie. The way you be going off on Dina. We have a moment with Ellie, and she's gathering materials. Kind of half-ass gathering these materials. I expect a little bit more from Ellie, from what she's been through and all that she's learned, versus Dina, who's kind of never really left the comfort of Jackson. She's always been here, but you have her being more poignant and we need to this map and we need to go here. Well, what about this? Are you gonna forget that? Whatever. You're gonna wear those Chuck Taylors, love them, but yeah, they're not sensible shoes. We need you in some boots. Yeah, I would need Ellie to already, girl, we done been through some stuff, girl, but all right, whatever. They're making it a point heavy in this episode to include Dina and let her know, like, Ellie, you need me, we need each other. It's very, you can't do this without me. I don't know her yet. I don't know her yet. it just feels very layered. Like they just poured her on us slowly in these 3 episodes, and now it's just all right, it's her and Ellie. I'm not ready for her like that yet. Ashley, I'm gonna come to you first because I know you got the most to say. Is there any ram soon? Like, how much time do you need to get into Dina?
There will never be enough time. I don't like her. I don't like you, Dina. I feel like I said, I feel like she has been shoved down our damn throats. I hate that they tried to lead us down this romantic relationship path when that was never Dina's intent. Dina just wanted to get her butt wet a little bit. That was it. She wanted to try something new. I think she's all about experiences and having a moment because she has been so sheltered and confined. And I just hate that we're it's the end of the world, damn it. Like it's apocalyptic. There is fungi coming after us. And not only that, now we've got cults and we've got like this whole militia. Like, girl, damn it. I don't want to see you in your rainbow bright jacket pretending to know all. Like this pissed me off. The puffy 80s, whatever jacket this is, pissed me off even more. Because girl, why do you have that? But outside of that, I hate that idea of you're going to need me to survive. And Ellie forgetting everything she learned over the course of survival. Like, girl, you know this. You know what you're going to need. You know what it's like to be hungry. You know what it's like for your shoes to fall apart. You know what it's like not to be able to sleep and not have weapons and not have medicine. Why would you be embarking on this journey without that? I think it just went a long way to discredit the character that they've built all season 1 by having Dina inserted here like she's going to be the savior or the light at the end of the tunnel. And I also hate that I really feel like we're going to have to divulge secrets to her that I don't think she's capable of doing. I think that Dina is a liability. And I think it's because they're pushing her so hard for us to like her. And no, Dina's good and she's going to be here to help. This is I know there will never be enough episodes for me to like Dina unless she does something extra spectacular. Girl, go on to the hot place in the next 2 episodes. I don't want to see her anymore. I'm over it. Over her.
For me, it's like this is who has your back. This is who you're expecting. Neither one of you really know what you're walking into on the human side in these wolves or whatever those are out there. There's that thread, and then we have this new thread of these new stalkers and all of these. Everything has elevated. And even Ellie, you have been enclosed in this little space for 5 years. You know, if I have to go out and shoot a couple of zombies and have a good time until it's not, and then, I go right back into the sanctity. That's 5 years. So much has just progressed in the way that they were able to roll up. And we're traveling and following the fungi last episode, and they're evolving. And the person that's going to have your back is the person who was probably in Jacksonville with the least experience. She's never been out there. So it's just really scary. But I'm going to leave it alone. They have to meet some people on the outside and team up because that's not it. Do we need Dina Corner? Because we need her via the show.
No, we don't need her. The only reason why we would need her is because they're trying to give us somebody to help soften us to Ellie a little bit more. I don't really know what the logic is because in my mind I'm like, okay, we know that we've seen Ellie go through hell and high water. She's been about that life. She was about that life a little bit. They forget where we met her. We met her chained to a radiator. Come on. So why does she need Dina and Dina's been trapped in Jackson? Right? Why do we need that? So if we know that Ellie is been trained by Joel, she's been out on her own, and okay, she is a little cocky because she knows she has a get out of jail free card, at least when it comes to the zombies. Then okay, what does she need Dina for? If anything, it would be her protecting Dina. But we don't know Dina. We don't know Dina to care about Dina. So that didn't make any sense to me. Again, if they had let us know Dina and maybe have a reason to care about her, she's a little wounded puppy or something, and Ellie has to protect her. She's like, I'm going to help you, Ellie, because Joel died protecting me or whatever, but she didn't really do that. Like, I don't know what they're expecting other than the people who are excited about Ellie maybe getting some, but she done already said, "Oh well, I'm not gay." So it's like, well, then why are we here?
Man.
That right. Throw it back.
She already told that. She already told that lie. So I'm like, well, dang, I don't even want to see y'all do that because you're not even
Man.
sure what you want.
Oh, that was so disgusting.
Ugh.
Relationship we saw with Ellie and Storm Reed. I have to get this out because this is how people use people up, right? To have their little taste test and adventures. Ellie don't need or want that ratted out cootie cat. Which she had Storm Reed. That was a real love situation, right? We got to see that build and form. They looked out for each
In one episode, mind you.
episode.
Yeah, just one
And this
episode.
is some bull. This is some bull that they're trying to shove down our throat, and it's not genuine. It's not genuine, girl. We knew you was faking. Ellie, you better stand up and find some new cootie cat. We don't need Dina. She's not
We-
necessary.
we have a proper goodbye here as far as Joel. We have Ellie drop a couple because Joel love a good cup of Joel. Let me scatter a couple coffee beans here and be on my way. Ashley, was this enough?
Hell no. It was like a spit in the bucket. Like, girl, on my way out of town. All right, Joel, it's been real. Let me go on and touch the ground. Okay. All right. Time to go. Get it back in blood. No, it did. Like I'm saying, it's not delivering. It's not emoting. Like I'm not. No, girl, I cry at the drop of a hat. I be ready to cry. Tear is always right here, ready to fall. Do you think one fell this episode? Not at all. Not even a little bit. In this dry desert sepia tone, we're transitioning into this new what? No, it wasn't enough. It was not enough in the damn Popper's graveyard. I just no, it's just not hitting Tyra. I don't feel it yet, and maybe she'll have a breakdown in the next couple episodes that'll really deliver something for me. But no, this was not it. This 2 minute scene, no, it might have not
You know what I wanted? I wanted her to say something. I wanted her to talk to him. I wanted her to like something. I was waiting, and then I was like, let me go grab my chips real quick. I was like, did I miss? Let me rewind it because I know she said something. I was like, oh no, she really just dropped these coffee beans down here. I really wanted her to say something or like reference their time. Like just it didn't have to be some long deep monologue, but like something. Just the beans weren't enough, and I'm like, we must gonna have those flashbacks. Clearly, they're gonna be in Sepia tone in reference to Joel every time, and we'll get it there because it wasn't here.
They could have even played a song. They had songs together. You know what I mean? The cassette tape that she got when they had left the whatever house, that could have been played. Like something that was going to be enough.
Oh yeah, when they were in the
You know what I
car.
mean? You would have told him a joke, one of them old school, one of them little joke girls, that thing.
No, oh my gosh, Ashley, this is why instead of the watch, Tommy needed to have found a letter or had a letter that Joel gave him in case anything ever happened to him that she read earlier. And then when, aside from her writing that little speech, she could have wrote him a letter back to take to the graveyard. It would have been significant because like Ellie never really wrote anything. So then it would have been like significant, like she was writing something back to him, and she could have read him the letter, left the letter, and then left him the copy of the Playboy that they found in the back seat.
Something, yeah,
Something like that. That would have been cute. That would have been a cute little moment.
A callback to something that they shared together.
Something. Oh gosh.
They
need to call us. Help them with this episode.
Then why are you being a hater? First of all, they were sweet potato chips since you being messy in the chat. I am still on my diet. Mind your business. They were sweet potato beet chips for your info. Ugh, always a hater in the bag. No, we have Seth briefly send them on, Ella's gonna always let me know that she's still gonna forever reside in a child's place. Like at this point, you put those emotions to the side. You need that damn gun. It's just like, ugh. Go get that damn gun. She be making me mad. Ella be making me mad. Like all the disgruntledness. Let's get into the grander picture. This man, he's offering you supplies. He brought you some, like what Tommy didn't do for you. It's here. You need these things, especially this gun for what y'all have facing the head. Like, yeah, this is a sharpshooter situation. For what we saw, you need this. Ugh. Girl, you better take that damn gun. But he's saying, no, we don't have to stay here. Anybody want to say anything about Seth giving those supplies? We can go on. I just be having beef with Ellie because girl, you should have took that damn steak sandwich when he offered it to you.
That was the thing, though, they said was relevant though, Tyra, because how she grabbed the blicky from him and put it across her back. That's how Joel carried his. They said that was the final,
Oh, that was nice to know. I didn't see it in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice that in the dark streets next to them horses. They can have it. I don't have nothing for this. It's just this was just very I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here at all in this show, in this episode. I don't even want to focus here. The only reason that she's fishing is because she wants to know, like, do you like me like that? Because I really like you, even though I can't just spell out, say I like you, and that, yeah, maybe I'm gay or bisexual or whatever. I'm fluid, whatever.
What do you rate?
You're the gay one. Girl, what are you talking about? Oh, I just want to get on my face.
We're not living in the apocalypse.
Girl, I just want her to get out my face. Like, it's just very jinx you. I mean, it's soda, so like, what's, girl, I need y'all to pipe up, okay? But we got stuff to do. We got people to kill. This is a mission. I need y'all to get serious. And that's another thing that they have been so sheltered in Jackson, when they went in there and it's 1, it's 2, it's 3. We're going to stab him. We're going to roll over. I'm going to do a Jackie Chan roll across the floor and then cascade with the knife and slit the zombie's throat. Yeah. And then we're going to go back to Jackson. This isn't that. This is not that. Not only that, but even how she is trying to fish and you can't even emotionally say that you do have genuine feelings. It's like, well, I was high, but I mean, I wasn't that high, So on a scale from 1 to 10, like, how was the kiss? Like, how did I do? I'm just, girl, don't get on my nerves. I already don't want you here. Quanah.
Why you put this picture here? She looks like she's about to turn to the camera and say, hey guys, can you say gay? Can you backpack? When did you rate the kids? Dora was trying it. They're too old to be playing these games for real, because like at this point now, okay, feel how you feel. But why are you telling this girl who kissed at the dance in front of everybody, oh, well, I'm not really gay, so I don't really know what this. You've been kissed somebody before. What does it matter? Like, girl, bye. I was like, the immaturity, and y'all were on a death mission to kill people. And this is the conversation. It made zero sense to me. And again, it's not like anytime in a good show you see people team up and they're going on some of these, like something like significant like this, there needs to be some tension. There's no real tension here. We don't care. We're not vested. We don't care. So it really, like, she could have grabbed any random person from Jackson to go on this mission with her and it would have had the same effect. To be honest.
I don't know. I don't know why I feel like I like the chemistry she has with Jesse over this. I know he's not an option.
That would have been better. That would have been better.
He's not a viable option. Everybody's over here on Dina. I guess Dina, even in the confinements of Jackson, we're still, virginal and unfamiliar, and I'm still.
No, that's not right. But she played Dora. Dane.
She literally played Dora.
She literally played Dora, the explorer in the movie.
Don't use the same Dane. Dane's a little slow. Ashley, because all I have was for this.
Yeah, you know how I feel about it, and it just goes just the way we talk about, and not to get all deep and stuff, but just the way we talk about fetishization of people of different races. This is just another example of that, right? She knows that Ellie likes girly girls, right? Girly pops. And again, this is all a part of her adventurous nature. Like, I want to try something new. I want to be something to you. But also, I'm already back with Jesse. Like, oh yeah, I done already hooked up with Jesse. Because, girl, why did you need to say that? And then rate me? It's just so juvenile. And like I said, our lives are on the line. We're on a mission to get it back in blood. I don't have time to worry about your kissing skills, your hootenanny, your exhibitionism, or you wanting to try something new out. And Ellie doesn't even really need to be thinking about that. Like, we have other things to focus on and think about. And I actually really like the idea of Jesse taking Adina's place, because Ellie, really, we don't need to see anything romantic at this point. We're on this mission. I liked the banter that they have, this kind of like, you know, oh girl, you can't do that, you need to do this, or no, I'm good, I'm, you know what, I kind of like that more than this fake indulgent thing that they're just kind of throwing in here, because there's no steam heat, there's no chemistry between these two. Even that dry kiss at the dance, I was like, what is this? Like, girl, this ain't cooking with nothing. And like I said, I feel like it's just fetishization on Dina's part, which again goes into the reason why I do not like her at all. I do not like this character. I don't.
We shall see. You better not jeopardize your life for the heifer. You better not do that. You better not do that.
You know she's because I gotta protect her. You know, I gotta protect Dina.
But it would have been nice, to your point, Ashley, if she had talked a little bit more about her connection with Joel, because then they could have bonded on with that, like just to have this like fluff piece conversation when they were. I thought that was the route they were going, because they showed us with Joel in the first episode, and then of course we know she was with Joel when everything happened. So that would have been the nicer conversation to have. It's like in the dark, whispering, like, you know, I'm sorry I couldn't, like her saying, I'm sorry I couldn't do more or something. That would have made us feel something.
I just knew this episode we were gonna open with Ellie having some plex for her, because we know how Ellie is. Like, regardless, like what happened, like why didn't you do something? Like, did you even try? Like just something, like you were there. Just even though we knew she was out on the ground, child. Which also pissed me off. I guess I don't know if that's in the game or not, but I was like, it's not even that, because she wasn't even there. Tommy was there. But did y'all sedate Tommy? Like, it's like we just had to sedate this happen. We couldn't even let her try to stand on a little bit. Like, it was just so easy and calculated the way that was done. But I thought that she would have more to say as far as like what could have been, even if it was misplaced anger, just something. It ain't nothing, child. But we meet these folks this episode, y'all. We meet these people. We don't get to know a whole lot about them. It's giving like religious, cultish refugees. Whatever they are on the outskirts. They don't want to be with the wolves. We want to be our own separate entity. They have these systems and all of these things, these whistles. And when we hear them about whistling and all the zombies and this and that, it's just like, yeah, that's just not even the biggest threat at this moment. We're really scared of these wolves. We was shaking in our boots. As far as they were concerned. And we really, overnight, we build up this little rapport. I was like, if we don't get a moment like we had with the little mute baby, and y'all better go deep with somebody, because don't be trying to spread this on my crack. Because last season when that baby turned, I was so sad.
Oh my gosh!
Like I need that kind of depth. We've seen what you guys have been able to do in one episode, so I know that it's possible. But with this here, it was just like, oh, Daddy, can't wait till I get a hammer and I learn whistling, and we're dead. I didn't feel anything. It was just let us know that no one's safe and what the larger threat ahead is. I was hoping with this, I was like, Dina, I'm gonna need you to get your stomachs together, girl. We got more that lies ahead with you vomiting and stuff. Pull it together, Miss Mamas. But with them being in fear and us needing a little bit more manpower on their side, I'm thinking that this group could potentially be some allies. Who knows? Ashley?
The baldies with the cloaks always make me nervous, but it's definitely a religious cult. According to the after show, this is they're called the Simbarians or something. Y'all play the video game, drop it in the chat, the name of this cult. But they're supposed to be nonviolent, allegedly. And what was interesting to me though is the discussion of this prophet who's died all these years ago, this female prophet that was, I guess, the leader, founder of this group. I'm wondering if we've been introduced to her in any capacity before. Also, though, what's very interesting to me is if they are this nonviolent cult who's fleeing persecution or war, or whatever it is, why is this, supposedly good group, right? This offshoot of the Fireflies unaliving innocent people. I do think, of course, it was necessary. I think it's going to further justify Ellie in her mission to finish this out, right? Because they unalive kids. Like, they need to go. I'm justified. It's not just about Joel. I have a greater mission ahead. So I like that. I wish we would have gotten more into the lore. This little girl was beautiful. I loved her crown braid. I would have loved to know more than kind of just the couple of pieces of information. You know, we know the prophet's a woman. We know that, you know, her spirit's eternal. We know this is how we're supposed to operate in the world. And, you know, when you get older, you know, you're going to learn all these things and you're going to be fine. And then 2 minutes later, they're laying in the woods. I think it'll be really interesting. Again, Dina's a liability. Girl, you weak. You went off by yourself. First of all, don't do that.
Girl.
When I'm calling.
I thought somebody snatched her already. I was like, girl, we just got here.
Like, girl, damn, answer me when I talk to you and don't run off. Like, we don't have walkie-talkies. What is this? But yeah, I think they're going to be interesting. And in the preview, it looks like they have one of these bald people in custody. Jeffrey Wright does. So I'm very interested to see how they tie in and why they're a threat to the wolf organization.
Oh, these wolves at this point are giving conform or die energy. It's interesting. It is. I'm interested to see like what, because they seem very, you know, docile and very, you know, we want peace. We just want to live amongst ourselves and do what we want to do. It's giving get down and lay down.
Seraphites, that's their name.
Seraphites, okay. Maybe I need to watch an after show. Quana, what did you think about this? Did they really drive home this daddy-daughter duo and the fact that they are this particular kind of refugee? They don't seem, you know, opposing or to be a threat from what we see, but they thought enough of them to take not only the dad out, but also the daughter.
They're really struggling with pacing on this show and how they introduce things and how fast they introduce and then let the thing go. That, you know, I kind of would have rather us have some more mystery around them, because it was interesting for all of 2 seconds and then we see everybody's dead. Now, I guess the assumption is maybe there are more of them out there, but the way that they were moving and traveling this little cluster, it gave that this was one entire group. You know, I guess maybe they're offshoot of something else, but I would have rather them have left them right there where like the daughter was asking for the hammer, and then, you know, and then they flee scared and then we don't find out what happens. I would have rather them have dragged that out a little bit, because I think it was kind of interesting was we don't know what they are. I mean, unless you watch the play the game or whatever, but you know, here I was creeped out. I was like, okay, we got a little cult going on. Everybody got scars on their face and they got these little crown braids going on. Everybody looks the same. Like, what's happening with this? So I'm thinking this is going to be another obstacle before Ellie encounters her big bad, which is Abby. So now that we done seen everybody's dead, I mean, I guess we're supposed to be worried about them still, but I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess they dead. Yes, that I really didn't even think. I was like, oh, okay, well. There, that was nice for 2 seconds.
I'm hoping they're not Quana, because I need somebody to team up with them. Somebody, anybody, somebody sing a Black girl song. I need somebody to team up with these folks. I really wanted them, because when I saw them, I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't think it was going to take so long for Ellie to actually leave Jackson. I was like, oh, she's going to encounter them and think they're a threat. It's going to make her like reminisce, like, oh, I remember when me and Joel were out here, and it was just like, oh, like, okay, they're still good in the world. And then maybe, you know, we could have maybe, I guess, got that death later. It was just very, very abrupt, like a lot of the stuff here in these episodes. And we've seen them do so much better. I don't know. I guess maybe they weren't as important as we would like them to be, and there has to be more of them. But I'm just interested in them getting some more bodies on them horses, because we need some folks. It's not enough. It's not enough. Like Kendrick Lamar, you are not enough. Dina walking off into the woods. Girl, where are you going? Where are you going, ma'am?
There will be 7 episodes this season.
Just
Only 7.
Only 7.
Just 7.
Just 7.
It's 7.
Yeah.
And we're on episode 3 now. Oh, child.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe there aren't that many. Now, I would think, you know, with all the time we've spent with Joel, we would, you know, roll up a little bit more stealth. You know, just a little. We're like rolling up literally in the center of the city. I was like, what is it? If y'all don't get off and creep and walk that horse or tie that horse somewhere so you can come back, did we learn nothing all last season on our damn journey? They were just rolling up like just all out in the open. I was like, what is this is really when I was like, it's Abby goddamn Junior. I just really didn't like this. We have learned so much and have been through so much. The Ellie we left when we got into the little cannibal crew and she had to fight her way out. I was like, baby, this is not that Ellie. I don't know what's happening. Maybe we've gotten a little bit more comfortable and complacent because we have been in Jackson. But the way we literally rolled, I was like, why is it so easy to get in here? What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, we thought it would be if it was, you would have been dead. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just so simple. Maybe, not as guarded because maybe there are many. We can come in here and do what we came to do, kill all those, people who killed Joel, and we can just get the hell out of here. All right, let's go. And they're just galloping through the middle of the damn city. It was strange to me. Kwana?
That's literally the first thing I said. And my niece, who just literally, she has not watched, I just made her watch episode 1, season 1 last night. So she watched episode 1, season 2, didn't watch the last episode because she wasn't with us when we watched it. And she just watched the 3rd episode of episode 1. And the first thing out of her mouth was, so you just roll up in the middle of town, just on the highway, just for anybody to see you? Mm-hmm. I said, look at this child and learn the world that fast. You mean to tell me Ellie done been in this world for her whole life and she don't know that you don't just roll up in town in a whole major city, just broad daylight like that? Like, y'all not under the cover of night, nothing. Nope. What are we doing? It really, like you said, Tyra, it's really like she just lost all the good education that she done had about how this world operates. I don't understand. I don't understand how we're just. So I was like, oh, she about to get shot off that horse. That's all I could think.
Because we see old Manny. We know Manny don't have no paws. He oh, that's the little heifer y'all took me off of last time we was down there in Jackson. Let me go.
What happened to them? And when they went down south, on one of the missions in season 1, they were on like an overpass or something, and they got spotted real easy.
Yeah,
they didn't learn that. She didn't learn nothing.
It's very let's tie the horses up here, where we can trace our way back. But let's move a little stealth. We don't know what we're walking into. I just expect a little bit more. Now, fortunately, he didn't see them when he gave them the okay to trollop through the city. But maybe there aren't there many, and we see this whole damn unit in a tank. I think 2 tanks. Ashley.
Shimmer was clickety clacketing clack clack clack. I said, why is that damn horse so loud? Girl, tie up. Horse anyway. Girl, get down and get low and walk and act like you got some sense. Have you learned nothing? Must I put it in a poem? Like they were again. Listen, and again, this is another scene where they say this is her being Joel because she gets to ride in the front now. She's at the front of the horse. She's leading the charge as they go.
Actually, just off of what she said, I'm never watching the after show.
Watch the after show, girl. I'm telling you, stuff like Esther did. But no, so I mean, yeah, and they're organized. There is a whole regime. It's a whole situation of them. They're jumping out. They got bulletproof vests. Like, it's going to be a problem, Ellie. You are not equipped. And then again, this is just the human threat. Mm-hmm. It hasn't even gotten night yet. You don't know where you're going to stay. You have no plans for shelter. It's just bad. It's just bad, and it's just slow. And I'm honestly can't wait until they get into their first debacle so they can really see what it is. Because at this point, I'm like, did Ellie forget? Did the 5 years in Jackson make her soft and not realize that the threat is the fungi, but the threat are really people. It's always people. We talked about this yesterday in our horror marathon. The real threat in these post-apocalyptic situations are always other people. And I just feel like she's lost the plot here, literally, like with this. And I need her to find it. And I need Dina to act like she got some sense too, since you know every damn thing. Why didn't you tell Ellie y'all should get off the horse and foot it?
Because she's out of her depth and out of her element. She don't know. Now Jess would have told her, girl, if we don't go stealth mode, we don't know what we're rolling up to. Like, and not even just that, the way that they are rolling up here, just to think that full first season, Joe's motivation was, yeah, I don't give a damn. I just need a battery so we can get a working vehicle. And these mother suckers have tanks and ammo, and they're rolling like they clearly have support and backing from somewhere. Like, this is major. They're formidable opponents, and you're rolling up on My Little Pony, Shimmer, and Dina on your back. What the hell are we supposed to do? If she don't meet somebody, she better meet somebody and make a friend real soon. Make a group of friends, because no. It has to be something. The only reason I said that it was maybe that cult or whatever we met was because, we have the same enemy. Something. Can we please? But we get here, y'all. We get to the end. Because I was like, are we going to? I was like, well, I guess they're going to save Jeffrey for next episode, because I was looking for him. We have some stuff coming in the next episode, and I am interested to get into this chained up person here on the wall. And I want to know, most of all, baby, why is Dina holding her gun towards Ellie? I think she found out, there's only one reason why. Like, oh, you're infected, I got to take you out. And of course she's going to have to tell her and all of those things. But yeah, it looks real hectic next episode. The people popping out, the zombies popping out, the infected is popping out, Jeffrey Wright is popping out, and he looks like a good villain. I can't wait for it because I need somebody to cook. Ashley, predictions?
Oh, child, season 1 gave us some top-notch villains. It gave us some top-notch human villains, and I think Jeffrey Wright is going to be no different. I really hope he elevates the story next episode. Clearly, the only reason Dina would be pointing her blicky at Ellie is because she thinks Ellie can be infected. What concerns me more than anything is the idea of Dina having that knowledge, because I don't think she would handle torture well. And Jeffrey Wright's character looks like he is a king of torture, if we can tell anything by this man who is in this washroom here. And I just think Dina's a liability, and I just hate that her secret is coming out so early, but it's bound to. They're working in tandem at this point. But next episode, my hope is that some of the regime, as far as the WLF pack, whoever they are, I'm really hoping that some of them dissent. And I hope that since they're already trained and know infrastructure, they might join Ellie. Maybe some of the crew that was there that didn't agree with how Abby handled it would possibly flip sides. I'm really interested and hope we get to see some of that in terms of them getting some friends, some allies to help. This man who's tied up here is obviously part of the cult. I think the cult holds on to some secrets that they want to know, because they don't have any resources to name of that we could see, no weaponry, nothing high tech, but they may have information. And I'm wondering if it is all leading back to Ellie, because I'm wondering who else honestly knows. There's somebody else in the world that knows a person out there exists that's immune. So I'm really curious about what this is, because what else would the cult have to offer but information? So hopefully we get some of those teas in episode 4. Because we only got a couple more episodes. We only have 30 minutes.
Girl, you got 30 minutes. After that, we got 3 episodes, child. Quantum predictions?
I mean, Ashley already said most of it, because it's really the only reason Dina could be pointing her gun is she'd have seen the bite mark or something, or Ellie gets bit and she's like, oh, I gotta kill you, and she has to be like, oh no, but wait, I've been bit 3, 4, 5 times. That's okay. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I am glad to see Jeffrey. I appreciate the fact that HBO is going to stay making sure my dude get a check. I appreciate that. And he's really like, if we're going to get rid of Pedro, you really can't ask for a better actor to come in and maybe help make things better. My only prediction other than that is maybe we'll finally figure out what's going on with them, the fungi in the pipes, since they just kind of like showed us that for 2 seconds and then was like, oh, never mind. Obviously that has to do something, that has to play out somehow, because they didn't do anything with it. So I would imagine we'll maybe come back to that. I don't know.
I'm ready for Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on, as long as we're getting some Jeffrey. And I never wanted to seem like, we're not here for the women or the actors are thinking that they can't carry the show. But from what we've seen thus far, and us trolloping through the city, We need, the balance just seems a little off. And I want Ellie to grow and get into her own, but let's not act delusional. Like they can go through, like, yeah, we got this. You do not. Find a buddy. Find a buddy, make a friend, and let's move on into that. And I'm also interested, like Ashley said, into who else could possibly know that she's infected. I mean, outside of Dina, because she's gonna have to tell her. Unfortunately. But you guys, that was the episode. This was a good time. I'm gonna take a little moment before y'all get out of here because it is currently 65 of y'all here, and I would like all 65 of y'all to hit that like button before we come back and tell you guys what we have coming up for the rest of the week. Here's your chance.
This ain't what you project. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. 60 flip. I just wanna rock. I just wanna rock. Body yada yada. Shorty got that body yada yada. Hit it once, no time. Set up, fuck, you gon' feel my vibe. Stand on my money, don't know my size. Pick them sides, and you better choose wisely. That's my high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my heart. This ain't what you project. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
Oh, Pedro. I put all that Pedro there before I knew that was going to take him out all brief. But Kwana, I am going to come to you first. Let the people know some of the things, some of them good watch along, some of the stuff you've been doing over there on your channel and what you have coming up.
Yeah, I'm finally getting caught up on The Handmaid's Tale. So episodes 4 and 5 will be dropping because episode 6 does come out tomorrow night. And of course, on Wednesday, we have our horror movie watch along. And on Thursday, we have Throwback Thursday. So please feel free to follow and hit the notifications so that you guys can join us whenever you're not visiting with Tyra and Ashley. We would love to have you.
You heard what the lady said. Get over there. Ash, you want to tell the folks what we have coming up?
Absolutely. And y'all be up for my Handmaid's Tale video. As soon as the episode drops, I will have my review up and Godfather of Harlem. But tomorrow night, y'all, we are back for The Wire watch along. Y'all pay to play. And we start season 3 tomorrow, which y'all say is the best season. All right. So we're here for that. We're going to be here maybe all night. I don't know. We'll see how far we'll get into episode 3. We've been running about 6 episodes every Tuesday night we get through. On Wednesday, we will be watching Black Mirror. I believe we're on episodes 5 and 6. On Thursday night.
It's done. It's done.
And then on Thursday, Good American Family, we host that live, and this will be the finale of Good American Family. That'll be over. And Friday nights are for reality, and we're introducing a new reality show, Poly Family, that we'll be doing a live discussion on before we watch Love After Lockup and The Never Ever Mets. And then don't forget, for Blockbuster Movie Night, if you're a member of The Struggle or The Sweet Peas, we're watching New Jack City. So make sure you're there. Action-packed week with uploads and lives. Be there or be square, y'all. We got a lot going on.
Yes, actually, I was just about to say something about New Jack City because I was going to take us out of here with the New Jack City. But I need you to send me the video. It's not in the chat. It's not in our collective. But y'all, that was it. Y'all heard what Ashley said. Be sure to join us for that. The way y'all been hyping up the 3rd season of The Wire, I better be falling out this shit tomorrow. I swear. And not only just The Wire, as of tomorrow, Ashley and I have been rocking for a whole year. A whole year.
Y'all.
A whole year.
We made it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a whole year. Okay, very, 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 very proud of that. So we'll have a little clap moment for that before we get into The Wire. But I'm gonna take you guys out of here with the Last of Us intro, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Everybody not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. If you ever try to let go, yeah, I'm sad alone, yeah, I'm sad, I know, yeah. Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. If you ever try to let go, yeah, I'm sad.